Hi. I discovered something disturbing in the Quran. Sounds like it sounds like honor killings are permitted in Islam. That Islam is more than just an accomplice. That it's not just a cultural thing. After all, it's actually permitted in Islam to kill your son, maybe your daughter, if you fear that they might disappoint you in the future. It sounds like it from what I'm about to read to you. Just by fearing. They haven't done anything wrong yet. You don't know if you're going to change, but you fear that they're going to screw up, become maybe a disbeliever or something like that. It's okay to kill them. I've discovered that right here in my Yusuf Ali, and I checked it out with other scriptures from Pickthall and Shakir. They say pretty much the same thing. I'm going to read this to you and see what you guys think, okay? This is Surah 18, verse 74. Here it goes. Oh, by the way, I'll tell you it's about Moses traveling with some guy, and they meet a kid, and the guy kills the kid. Well, first something happens with the boat, and then Moses and this guy that Moses is traveling on, the guy kills the kid, and Moses goes, "Oh my gosh, how could you do such a horrible thing?" You know, and then they travel on. Then finally, the guy starts explaining why he did such and such. He goes, "As for the kid, I killed him because." Well, I'll show you. I'll read this to you. This is if you think I'm just making this up, I'll read this right from the very Quran itself here. It says here, when they proceeded, that's Moses and this guy. Then they proceeded until when they met a young man. It's actually a young boy. Well, it's a boy, a youth, not a young man, a youth. A young man. He slew him. The guy slew him. Moses said, "Hast thou slain an innocent person who has slain none? Surely a foul and unheard of thing thou hast done." Then the murderer answered and said, "Did I not tell thee that thou canst have no patience with me?" Okay, Moses says, "If ever I ask thee about anything after this, keep me not in thy company. Then wouldst thou have received a full excuse from my side." Then they proceed on, and finally, they need to go into town, and the guy the murderer starts explaining what they experienced and what he did with the boat, and he goes, then he goes, "As for the youth," well, actually it says as for the youth, his parents were people of faith, believers, or in this case, Muslims. His parents were people of faith, and we feared. He hasn't done anything yet, but we feared that he would grieve them by obstinate rebellion and ingratitude to Allah, well, to God and man, but it's Allah, of course, you know. Isn't that amazing? They feared. He hadn't done anything wrong. They feared that he might not change, but so that's why they killed him, you know. This seems to be licensed to kill your daughter or your son if you fear that they're going to become westernized. You know what I mean? I'll read on here. So we desired that their Lord would give them in exchange a son better in purity of conduct and closer in affection. As for the wall, it belongs to two youths, orphans, and anyway, I haven't read on, but could you, if you're Muslims and you know this passage here, could you set me straight here? Does this guy get punished for killing some kid just because he and the parents feared something would happen to that the kid would go astray? You know? I mean, to me, that is honor killing here. That opens the door to it. It's not just, Islam is not just an accomplice. This shows that it's guilty. But if you can prove me wrong here, then do so, okay? But